Good afternoon to you, Zukana. Certainly, the minister's announcement being news that many of the families would have been anticipating, but it doesn't seem like it's all been clarified as yet. Tell us about how many families, or how many bodies rather, we're expecting to come back to the country.
Well, Minister Jeff Radebe says we'll only know exactly how many bodies will be returned to South Africa when the aircraft lands here. We know that the aircraft is leaving this afternoon for Nigeria, and they'll only be able to really tell us how many will be put on that flight when the authorities get to Nigeria. Really, Kathy, Minister Jeff Radebe taking us back to the dark shadow that this tragedy cast on this nation, and really showing us about the pain that the families went through and the agony that they've been going through, waiting for the remains to be brought back to South Africa. He's really saying that the South African government has been committed to this cause, and they've put out all their powers in ensuring that all the remains are brought back home. But we'll only know when the aircraft comes back to South Africa just how many families will be able to put closure to this tragedy.
And so, Connor, a very good question was asked during the press briefing. What then happens to the families in the meantime? When exactly will they be able to know whether or not they can expect their loved ones back home on Thursday when that plane is expected to come up? How are they handling this logistically, government that is?
Kathy, I've spoken already to one of the families that has been waiting for the arrival of their mother, and he told me that he watched the press briefing, but because Minister Jeff Radebe wasn't able to confirm the number of bodies that will be returning to South Africa, he's saying it's still a very sad time for them because they don't really know what to expect. And he even said this is possibly even worse than before, because now there's this number that we don't know how many people are going to be brought back, and it could be that their mother is coming, but it also means that the mother might not be there. So he's really saying it's really been a painful time, and even this announcement has brought some relief, but not really that much relief, because they still don't know what to expect. Is their mother going to be coming back? Will they be able to bury her? Will they be able to get that closure that they want? So it's still a very heartbreaking time for those families, as you can imagine. If your mother died in a tragedy close to 6 months ago in another country, just that wait, the wait to bring closure, the wait to bury her, is just agonizing, as you can imagine.
Now, Zikana, logistically, of course, this operation that is going to be taking place this week is the smallest by any accounts of the 3 that have happened since this incident in Nigeria. How is government going to handle this logistically? What happens when those bodies arrive? Is the same process going to be followed as previously was?
We know that once the bodies have landed in South Africa, they'll be taken to mortuaries, and we're expecting government to give us more detail as to what exactly will happen. How will they receive the bodies? How will the bodies be handed over to the families? As we've seen in the past, like you've said, normally they've had ceremonies to receive the bodies. They've had dignitaries speaking and pastors giving a message to the families. For now, they're saying that they will communicate that information to us as the date gets closer, when exactly those bodies will be arriving in South Africa. So we don't really know what to expect in terms of the day, what will the ceremony entail, or who will be speaking, or anything like that. But as we've seen in the past, government has really shown a sense of warmth and sadness when it's receiving these bodies, Kathy. So I'm guessing that we should be expecting something like that, because as they've said in this press briefing today, they don't want those 11 families to in any way feel that they haven't been working in their favor to make sure that they find the closure that they want. So I'm sure that this process will follow similar path to what we've seen in the past.
All right, so Connor, we'll wait for the clarity on that information over the next 2 days as it becomes available.